Good evening, everyone. Here we are, Friday evening, ready to have another session for science. Another session for science. Hello, how are you doing? All good? Hope your weekend started in the good way. Look, the t-shirt I just received. I don't know if you watch it, but it's from an anime called Haikyuu. It's about volley, and it's quite cool. Quite cool. Who else we have in here? We have 9 people. Okay, that's fantastic. That's great. Friday evening, 9 people wanting to learn about science. That is wonderful. Today I wanted to do something a bit different because for the last week I've only been talking about physics, and some people have told me that the topics are a bit dried and they're a bit tired of physics. So I want to see if biology, which is something that my year 8s they have been demanding, is something that actually we have enough people in here looking forward to learn a little bit about biology. What do you think, people in the chat? Is biology something that you like? Is something that you would like to learn about as well? Or we are only for physics? What do you think? What do the spectators say? What does the audience decide? Is biology something cool? Do we prefer biology over physics? Any? Biology sounds good. All right. Okay. Yeah, I think biology is cool. All right. The topic I have decided is, no, don't worry. You're never late. You're always on time. The topic I have looked for is one that is shared across Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4, which is the one that goes about health and lifestyle. And so you have no comments on YouTube. What is the meaning of that? Does it mean that I cannot? All right. I will have a look into YouTube in another time, okay? Maybe during the weekend I will have a look into YouTube, and I will learn a bit more. Also, as my moderator David mentioned to me, I need to be able to allow pools and that sort of things here in the chat. Okay. Anyway, no more wasting time. I want to talk about health and lifestyle. Okay. You will allow me to do an introduction before we go to the camera and we write a little bit. We can discuss that. Okay. We can discuss that. All right. When we talk about something, or someone better said, who is healthy, what do we think about? The first thing that comes to our mind is someone who doesn't have any disease. Okay. But this definition of healthy, good point in there, is too short. It's too short. Now in biology, doesn't matter if you are Key Stage 3 or Key Stage 4, the definition of healthy is someone who is in a physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Look, physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Not just the absence of a disease. What do I mean with that? If we have a person that doesn't have any disease, but doesn't sleep well, doesn't eat well, is always angry or always sad or always unhappy, that person, we don't consider that person healthy. Healthy is the combination of those 3 elements, not just the absence of a disease. All right? And one fundamental factor in the healthy of someone is diet. And with diet comes what is called the nutrients. And what you need to know is the 7 different nutrients that you need to learn about. Okay? I know more about liters than cups, because depends how big is your cup. Because for example, I used to have a cup in here, but not anymore. I would say like 8 cups, 2 liters. Okay, 2 liters. All right. That is the appropriate amount of water you should drink. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can remember what are the 7 nutrients that we need to remember. So let me move the camera a little bit. Anything above 5 liters will be a lot. It also depends on many factors, like what sort of activity you have. Are you practicing any sport? How is the weather outside? Depends on many factors. You could cause yourself kidney issues. Okay? All right. Let's talk about the nutrients. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Let's see if the chat can help me in here. You tell me one and I write it down, and then we discuss why that nutrient is important, okay? We have been mentioned about water. Water is one of them. Water is the main media of all the chemical reactions that happens in our body, okay? All the chemical reactions, they happen in the media of water. Also, it makes up the 70% of our body, approximately, okay? Approximately. A bit more in males than in females, but approximately the 70%. Another one is vitamins and minerals. Very good. Vitamins and minerals. Okay? They regulate certain chemical reaction and certain function and keep the organs and working properly, and it also promotes our growth. For example, when you have lack of vitamin D, your nails and your hair gets affected massively. All right. Diary, no. Diary is not how we call it. We are talking about nutrients, guys. We're not talking about exercise. We're talking about nutrients. Carbohydrates, that's correct. Carbohydrates. They're the main source of energy. Okay? And we can find them in cereals, bread, rice, etc. Lipids, that's fine. Is for long-term energy. And also is for insulation. So our fat keep us warm when it is cold. Okay? You will think that it's a joke, but it is not. Fat people deals with cold a bit better. A little bit. Another one is proteins. I don't know why you forgot about proteins. It's about growth and repair. Growth and repair. Okay? So you need to get lots of proteins to grow. Alright? Fiber is good for the guts and for digestion. Sorry, didn't see that. What else? What am I missing? Come on, guys, help me in here. What else? I think I'm not missing anything. No, I'm not missing anything. Size is not a nutrient. I think it's vitamins and minerals, they are separate. So lipids, carbohydrate, fiber. I think that's all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's all. I put some extra, sorry. All right. So you need to know them, and also fats and lipids are the same thing. Okay? It's just fats is probably not the name that you should use in an exam or in a book. So if you use the word fats, everyone knows what you are referring to. It's more, I don't know how to say, acceptable. Call it lipids. All right. So a balanced diet would be one that has the appropriate amount of each of them. Dairy? No, that's not one type of nutrient. For example, in milk you have lipids, you have proteins. So no, dairy is not a type of nutrient, okay? It is not. A balanced diet would require that you have the right amount of all of them. So you cannot have lots of proteins or lots of carbohydrates or lots of lipids, because that would not be a balanced diet. Meaning that a diet that lacks of any of those would not be a healthy diet. Okay? And that includes some diets, and they are now a bit more famous, like veganism or certain types of vegetarians that they are very strict. They need to complement their diet with vitamins or with extra because they are missing some intake. All right, so this is about nutrients. Talking about disease, and this involves key stage 4 a bit more. How can we classify the disease? In which two groups we can classify the disease? Easy. We can classify the diseases instead of in two groups if they are communicable or non-communicable. And some of you are thinking like, what is communicable and what is non-communicable? Pescatarian, well, fish has lots of proteins, so there is no lack of protein in that aspect, but I'm not sure if by not eating meat there is anything missing. It would be a matter of having a look, okay? But fish in general is quite healthy. Actually, it's probably much healthier than meat, but it doesn't taste as good, in my opinion. Anyway, diseases can be classified in communicable and non-communicable. Communicable disease are the one that they pass from one individual to another one, okay? Yes, you do, especially vitamin B12. So communicable are the diseases that they are due to pathogens. And they pass from one individual to another one. Okay? What are examples of communicable disease? Lots. HIV, flu, salmonella, what else is an example of a communicable disease? Yes, those are pathogens. Those are pathogens. You are just mentioning the pathogens. Virus, bacteria, protist, fungi. Those are the types of pathogens, but I'm talking about the name of the disease. Come on, before going Africa, I had lots of vaccine. Which one was this one? Malaria, okay? All right? Malaria. And then we have the non-communicables, and they are due to genetic factors, plus environmental factors. And when we study these factors, genetic factors and environmental factors, we also mention another one which is called risk factors. An example of non-communicable disease, we have cancer, we have asthma, we have allergies. Okay? Those are diseases that they cannot be passed from one person to another one. Okay? You cannot, asthma is not contagious. AIDS is in here. AIDS is communicable. Okay? It's due to a pathogen, it's due to a virus. Okay? But cancer, asthma, allergies, Alzheimer, those are non-communicables. They cannot be passed. They are not contagious. Okay? If you are next to someone with cancer, you're not gonna get cancer. So how is cancer? How does cancer appear? That's dyslexia is non-communicable. It's also genetic, okay? So cancer mostly is due to genetic factors. So it's basically in your DNA. You are born with those genetic factors. It's coming from your parents or from your relative. Yes, it is due to mutations, or you could have it because of your environment. If you are exposed to certain substances that they promote or they increase the possibilities of cancer, there are more chances for you to have cancer. Okay? Example of risk factors: smoking. If you smoke, you have more possibilities to have cancer than someone who doesn't smoke. Look what I said. We are talking about possibilities. We are talking about probabilities. Okay? Not everyone who smokes will have cancer. And it doesn't mean that everyone with cancer is because of smoke. But I will give you an example. My brother is a doctor, and he told me that when he worked in the area of oncology, which is the area in charge of the patients with cancer, yes, he mentioned that every single one with lung cancer, they smoke. They used to smoke. Doesn't mean that every smoker will have cancer. No. It's about probabilities. It's about, as I wrote in here, risk factor. You are increasing the possibilities. People ask me in the chat, or Mr. Romero's left uncle, they ask me the difference between viral and bacterial disease. A virus disease is the one caused by a virus. Meanwhile, a bacteria is the one caused by a bacteria. But that's not the only difference. An example of a disease caused by a virus is flu. A flu is a virus. And a bacteria caused by, a disease caused by a bacteria could be Salmonella. All right. What is the difference in terms of the treatment? A bacterial disease can be treated using antibiotics. So if you get a bacteria disease, you can use antibiotics. But if you have a viral disease, you cannot use antibiotics. That is probably the fundamental difference in terms of the treatment. If you have a viral disease, like a flu, the only thing you can do is you just need to wait for. That's why when you have a flu, or when you feel unwell because a minor viral disease, and you go to the doctor or you go to the medical office, the only thing that they can give to you is paracetamol. It's a painkiller. It's something that will make you feel better, or better said, it reduces the pain. But the only way to fight against a viral disease is your own immune system. There is nothing else. However, a bacteria can be treated with antibiotics. Now, I'm sure you have heard from your parents that it's not good self-medicate in general. And it's not good people have antibiotic when they have any minor disease. The reason is because if you take antibiotics, the antibiotics kills the bacteria, but also affects your own cells. It makes you weaker. Probably some of you, if you have had antibiotics recently, you feel more tired, you might have diarrhea, you might have stomach pain. All that is a secondary effect of the antibiotic. The antibiotic makes you a bit weaker. It affects your own cells as well. I feel tired either way. It's because you're not sleeping well. And also because you're a teenager. So if you have a viral disease, like a flu, and you have an antibiotic, instead of getting better, you're gonna get worse. That's why it's never recommended to self-medicate. Okay? Never. Alright, but you're sleeping 8-9 hours, but is that good quality sleep? What do you do before going bed? Because if before going bed you are just playing with your phone, your brain is not sleeping. Okay, your brain will still work. It's about the quality of sleeping, not the amount of time you're sleeping. You can spend 24 hours sleeping, but if it is not high quality, that's not good enough. Okay? And also, you are passing through many hormonal changes. So your hormones, they are up and down. You are allowed like a roller coaster. Why don't you get some tea, some melanin, something natural that helps you to sleep? Think about it, okay? All right, guys, today I need to cut this a bit shorter because I need to go and coach judo today, okay? For those who don't know, judo is my other passion apart from science. And at 8:30 I am coaching, so I need to get ready for it. Today, I wanted to talk about health and lifestyle because my moderator, David, in here, David, make yourself noticeable. He is studying about health and lifestyle and he wanted a bit of a help. So we'll leave the video in here. Yes, I will enable pools. However, part of the things that I have talked, they are also useful for Key Stage 4, okay? So you can watch the part that I am talking about communicable and non-communicable disease, because that is in topic biology B6, which is in your GCSE exam paper 1 on Tuesday. Okay, so on Tuesday we have biology paper 1 and communicable and non-communicable disease. They will be there. So year 11, please have a look to the video I'm just finishing and listen what I said. By the way, just to clarify, my left ankle is still here. All right? All right. Yes, tomorrow I will start earlier. I promise. I will start earlier, and if everything goes well, tomorrow I will be here for 1 full hour. 1 full hour. Boom. Make my life easy and make your life easier if you tell me what topic you would like me to talk about. Okay? Brochacho. I don't know what is brochacho. In Spanish, there is something that is muchacho. That means dude. I think you were trying to say that. Okay? Perhaps you were trying to say that. But tomorrow, longer time. I see some people wants me to do a space. I can do a bit of a space. Anything else? No? Brilliant. Also, starting this weekend, there will be Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. The 3 of them. Mr. Romero Science. Okay? The 3 of them. Mr. Romero Science. Okay, and I will share clips, videos with monoclonal antibodies. That's a very difficult topic, but I can try. Wow, calm down. 1 hour is 1 hour, not 8 hours. I cannot do all of them at the same time. If you share with me an exam question, I can do it. Okay, I can do exam questions too. Can you do density and stuff like that? I can do everything. Guys, this is gonna be part of my routine now. Every day 7:30 is gonna be time with you guys. So we will have time to talk about everything. All right? Okay. For now, we'll leave it in here. We have had almost half an hour together. Tomorrow, a longer time. I had a date. I told you. I had a date. Have a lovely evening, guys, and good beginning of your weekend. Bye-bye. I do.